This is gonna be my favorite. I've been waiting for this for a hot minute. I teased it out last week. We did our top 5 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're gonna do our top 5 quarterbacks, and it was weird because when we did the whiteouts, we gave them at least a 3-year window, right?
Okay.
I was thinking about moving it up for the QB to like a 5-year window.
Okay.
Or you think do you think 3 is still good?
You want to, I guess, keep it 3 because you have some guys who probably be in the top 5 who haven't even been in the league for 5 years.
That's what I was saying, right? Yeah. Okay. So 3. That's what I was thinking because there's only one guy who doesn't fit that, which is the obvious. But okay. So we'll say the 3 most dominant QBs over the last 3 years, right?
Okay.
And forward, right? But we give the 3 year to kind of give us have they been balling or not. So out the gate, automatic slam dunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has to be Tom Brady, right?
Okay.
Right? Yes, correct.
He won a chip in the last 3 years, right? Yeah, he did.
He did. Yeah, he totally did. I think he won before. He won the year before Chiefs did, because that year the Chiefs lost to them. They won.
Oh, yeah.
Then the following he got bumped. Then he got traded, and then we're in this year. I think this is that
Correct.
third year. I want to go that way.
Because they beat the Rams.
Yes.
But he looked
cool.
But he didn't look great.
He looked average, but again, he was also playing, arguably one of the best defenses in the league. Donald is going to go down.
All right, so let's narrow this down.
Let's get it.
Is it regular season?
Yes, only
Regular season.
But the greatness obviously helps with chips.
But it's tough because you have the mystique of Tom Brady's mystique. That's what
All
I'm
right,
saying. So because he hasn't led in any, he wasn't in the top 5 categories of anything. Like this year he cooked in touchdowns. I think he led the league in touchdowns. But
wow.
But like that's just this year with the Bucks. Last year he was okay, and the year before that he was okay. So you understand what I'm saying? So it was like
no, makes sense. It makes sense because we also need some stats.
Correct.
To go with, right? Okay, so let's put him at 1A.
All right, what's your top 5?
And he goes right over there. I don't know. I've been battling with it a little bit, right? Okay. So I would go. Patty has to be 1.
Okay.
If you take Tom Brady out, 2, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
But I struggle with that too. But his numbers are just phenomenal, and he's been doing it the longest. And I argue with a Chiefs fan, and I said that you might have to put Rodgers 1 because of the longevity. Like he's been in the building, destroying numbers for a hot minute. So. We'll fuck around with the top 3. So it's going to be Patrick, Rodgers, and then Russell.
Okay.
Right? That's decent. Then there's a cliff.
Okay.
Same shit with receivers. Okay. So now we go down. Do we qualify Deshaun Watson? Maybe at 5. Or is that a push? That's too much because he hasn't really.
We can't leave We can't leave Breeze out of there either. That's it.
No, Breeze, I would say Breeze would be 4 for sure. He's a lock for 4.
So we got
at this point we got guys that are winning. At least I think also a qualifier has to be potentially maybe winning a chip, right? If we're thinking about greatness, like all of those guys I mentioned have a chip.
Correct.
Except for Watson.
Correct.
Right?
You
got Patrick, you got Rodgers, you got Russell, and then you got Breeze, and each guy has 1.
And then Brady.
Chip.
So you want Brady the top 5?
Always like on the top.
But that's the issue. So like.
Yeah, this is why it's good to talk about it.
So all right, so that's it. The last 3 years are basically Patrick Mahomes' 3rd year.
Right. That's why I said that's why I put it at 3 years.
So his first year, he played 1 game.
Right.
He played the last game. Second year, pops off 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, MVP of the league.
Facts. I take that back. He didn't kind of emerge. He exploded on the scene.
3rd year. No, sorry. This is his 4th year.
He did a 50. No. You're right.
This is his 4th year. This is his 4th year.
4th year. You're right.
This is his 4th year now, currently right now.
Correct. Yes.
So 3rd year, balls out, wins the Super Bowl. His 3rd year, and then now he's able 15-1. What did they go 15-1? I think
15-1, and I said that they could have went undefeated.
Okay, so now
his resume right out the gate, by the way, is ridiculous.
If we're going by the 3-year window, he's number 1.
Okay, boom. That's okay. So that's
we have to go by his number 1.
I got you. That's what I thought. He's number 1. Who's 2 then?
2 would have to be
Rodgers or Russell.
It would have to be Rodgers or Russell. The only
Right.
thing,
Either one of
and
those
the only
guys.
thing I would probably just put Russell above Rodgers. The only reason why I would do that is because he went to 2 Super Bowls. He
Mhm.
won one, and then now everything is either Russell or bust. Even though
Right.
with Packers it is Rodgers or bust. Don't get me wrong,
Correct. Correct.
but like
He does
Russell,
more with less. He does way more with less.
correct.
Because Aaron Rodgers has had good defenses. Aaron Rodgers has had good running backs, good wide receivers. You could argue that Russell Wilson hasn't had jack shit.
Well,
Except
he had a
he had
well,
Lynch for a minute.
for offensive purposes, yes, but his defense,
Yeah.
he had the Legion of Boom. Like that
That's
defense
correct.
was
Yeah,
insane.
he did. And then all of a sudden they thought he was some kind
Um,
of bullshit.
I'll say all right. So I will put I'll put Rodgers 2. Let's go just
Right.
Rodgers 2. Then we got Russell 3.
Uh-huh.
I will probably put Brady 4 and Breeze 5.
Okay. So now let's see who could have been making the cut. Ben Roethlisberger, no go.
No bueno. Well, he gets fucked because of last year because he was out the whole year. So that's 1
Right.
year. We got to go.
Uh-huh.
This year his numbers didn't pop off
No.
the sheet.
Right. Uh-huh.
And then the year before that, I think he had a good season.
Right.
So, but we're going by a 3-year window, right?
Right.
So,
Right. So
he's kind of disqualified just because he didn't play last year, and then this year they were a fraud 11-5.
yes,
You know,
100%.
or 12 and whatever they went. They went 11-5.
All right. So let's look at the former
So you want the
MVP.
fridge? Then we have the fringe people on the outside looking in.
Right. Because I'm thinking like 4 and 5 could get played with. Because you could also argue that Breeze's numbers for the last 3 years was soft too.
True.
Because I would take out Breeze and put Lamar Jackson. Right? Because Lamar Jackson, his numbers is ridiculous. He cooked. I looked at his shit, not scrambling. Last year, homeboy threw 30 plus touchdowns. That's not easy, especially in the sense of people have argued that he's not a good thrower, right? And he's also been a 3-year guy. The only thing is this season, rookie year, 6 TDs, 3 touchdowns, and then
he played like towards the end of the rookie season.
Right, and then 19 he explodes 36 and 6. That's crazy. And then he follows that up with 26 and 9 for a guy that can't throw the rock outside the numbers.
I would put Deshaun over Lamar.
Okay, now I brought up Deshaun. Let's look at Deshaun. That's what I'm saying. So I think you got to take out Breeze and 5 is still open because potentially you might have to put Deshaun in there.
Yeah, I would put Deshaun over Lamar.
Correct. But now what's your argument for doing that?
Because if quarterback, you have to be it's throwing the ball to me. Like I'm not trying to take away the legs.
I got you. He's a speed guy. He's half runner, half thrower, not full thrower, which is what would qualify. Best quarterback, not best running quarterback.
So that's why I would go with Deshaun at number 5 because he's a better thrower of the football than
100%. Look at his rookie year, 19 and 8. The following 26 and 9. The year after that, and I think one of these years was the injury year, which is crazy. 26 and 12, and then this season, no one's even talking about it, bro. He threw for almost 5,000 yards with nobody, and 33 and 7. Yep. That's ridiculous.
But they lost. That's why. But
no, I get it. I get it. What I'm saying is, he's overshadowed with the fact that he's in the South and he's in the Texans. There's a lot of reasons why he doesn't get the love. I don't think he gets enough airtime, and the Texans have just been a horrible dumpster fire
for sure.
So that's it. So that puts us there. So we got Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. You said Tommy?
Yep.
And then
Deshaun Watson. That's our top 5.
That's good.
Yep.
So then for Fringer, is Lamar or still because he's half-half?
No, you could, I guess.
It's hard, right? I mean, he came from an MVP season. That's why I'm saying. I mean, even though homeboy can't throw, he still threw 30 touchdowns.
No, for sure. But like when you it's still a part of his game. Like I can't take it as another part of his game. Like, but
agreed.
The threat of him running, the safeties come down, you get the whatever over the top, or he runs and then he throws, hit somebody open. Cool, but it just like if I had to go, what happens if that ability gets taken away from him? I need
they're not the same player.
Correct. I need him to throw the ball. Like I need somebody who can throw the ball. And I'm not discounting him, but like
no.
Justin Herbert looked like a better quarterback than him this year.
Wow. As a pure thrower,
you know what I'm saying? Like just pure thrower. Yeah. Justin Herbert didn't come out and saying, well, the defenses know our plays, which is Lamar did, like Justin went out there and just balled. I think Justin Herbert. I think he threw 36 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's coming up real good. I mean, I think they're the Chargers, but they got very lucky landing him. He's gonna be special.
And I would like to say that I called Anthony Lynn being fired at the end of this year.
You totally did, but to be honest with you, I don't think Anthony Lynn should have gotten fired.
I think so. I think he should have.
He lost Joey. He lost Joey Bosa. That was the Niners that they lost second Bosa. But even though the defense has been plagued with injuries, the offense kind of really didn't figure out. And the fact that at least they were competitive, like I'm a little fatigued with the fact that you just fire guys.
The issue is right. This is when stuff become
what 2 years or 3 years.
I think it was his third year. But
Okay,
but you have to go with the pattern. So.
The pattern.
The pattern is they slap people in the first half. He can't make adjustments, and they win the game and close out in the second half.
Okay, that's actually a really good point.
So, like, even his first year, they would get really close ball games, and they would lose.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of.
Everything is like 7 points and under. Like, they would lose games by a touchdown or a field goal. Like, they would be up. Like, how much they were up this year? 27-4. I mean, 27-3, 28-10.
The Chiefs
21-7. They're up, and in the second half they get shut out in the second half, or don't even do anything in the second half.
Besides that point, do you have another point why he should have been fired?
It's winning and losing. That's the only point. That's the major point for me.
No, I get you. I think that he related to the players. I think that he understood guys. I like that he was a younger guy. I feel like he's able to to relate with the players more, and he provides diversity in a league. At least at the coaching position that doesn't have enough.
And who's to say? This wasn't reported. This ain't nothing. I'm just speaking purely speculation. Is what if ownership met with Justin Herbert or called him on the phone and said, "Hey, what do you think about Coach Lynn?"
That's true.
Or they called the leaders of the team.
Right. Which there's barely any. I mean, I think they just got a raw deal too. Because look, what was it? A couple of years ago, and I think Lynn was in the building. Fucking Hunter Henry wasn't healthy. Allen wasn't healthy.
Derwin James can't stay healthy.
I'm saying Derwin James is another motherfucker. You know, it looks like Joey Bosa's an animal, but his engine runs out midway through game 2. I also think too, to make another argument on that second half shit, their defense also disappears too. So you might be able to draw it up. But if your fucking guys are fucking giving up on plays, like I've seen Bosa winded, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't be winded chasing somebody fucking 100 snaps.
Yeah.
Oh, I pay you mad money for you not to be winded.
Correct. And they just they gave him
they sub him out of third and shorts. That's crazy to me. I need you in that play, Papa.
You're a $100 million player.
Come on, my man. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with the Lynn thing. I would have gave him 1 more year. I would have signed him for 1 year contract, and I would have said, look, next year it's all on you.
Remember, and also too, like put it like this: you can't trust. This is another thing that I just thought about. You can't trust his judgment when you were going to start Tyrod Taylor over Justin Herbert.
Whoa, that was not his fault. That's not his fault.
Of course it is. The players, the players know, and players are like 10 could play.
Listen, bro, I'm not even a fucking player, and I could have told you that Tyrod wasn't the guy, but that's not the point, because when I was talking to, shout out to John Conti, and he was at fucking Charger camp, he's telling me, I'm like, you're fucking delusional. He's like, Tyrod looks amazing. He's got so much command of the offense. The players were buying into Tyrod. They were not buying into 10 at that point. And 10 was a rookie. And this is a fucking Bruce Arians thing, and it's kind of poisonous in the NFL. They don't respect rooks. They don't. They don't give a fuck what you did in college. So 10 could have came in fucking ripping up the field, but at the end of the day, Tyrod won the fucking job. So, and he didn't sign him. The ownership did.
But it all depends on how you are the head coach. Your job is to evaluate the talent and put the best player.
They should have fucking signed Fitzpatrick. That's what they should have signed. And that guy would have been fucking cooking for them. You know what I mean?
But like, even it doesn't matter. Like, all right. So look at Russell Wilson, right? The year he came into the league, he was a rookie. He came into the league.
Tell me the story. I love the story.
He came into the league. They signed late. I think like early fourth. I think he got drafted in third round. Whatever the case may be, he got drafted late. He's a rookie.
Yep.
They signed homeboy from the Packers. I forgot what his name was.
Yep.
They signed him to like $67 million.
A lot of fucking money
for 3 years, and he outplayed him.
I got that. That sounds great. And Pete Carroll's a fucking man for pulling the trigger on that. But do you know how many other guys don't do that?
For sure.
Tons.
But
a lot of teams.
But again, you are the head coach. It falls on you.
I don't think that that's true. I think that there's a lot of moving parts in that shit.
You're responsible at the end of the day.
No, but that sucks though.
It does suck, but that's what you signed up for.
I got you, Daddy. But I feel like, look, if you're fucking Bill Belichick and you're like, fucking bench this motherfucker, you got way more control over the airwaves. If you're fucking Anthony Lynn and you've been a defensive coordinator your whole fucking life and this is your first fucking HC job and you say something, I'm like, nah. Go sit in the corner, Daddy, and go work on the fucking defense. This is who we're going with.
That's how it works, though.
Because the Chargers have been known for fucking meddling GMs. That's been their shit.
For sure.
So, anyways, we don't want to get too much of a tangent on whether or not Anthony Lynn got screwed over or not. What I wanted to bring in was another fringe player because we didn't get a chance to touch on this a little bit, and we are going to in a second. Now, where's Josh Allen? Because Josh Allen's got to be knocking on the door.
We'll see. I gotta see.
Still. Okay, so look, if we're going, let's just for the shits and giggles, right? Let's think about 6. So Lamar's not 6. You put Breeze at 6.
You would have to leave. Well, now, yes. Yeah. Huh? Over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So you leave Breeze 6th, then you probably Lamar 7th. You got probably.
You're not getting an Allen in there, even in the top 10?
Maybe.
Because at that point, you can put Phillip Rivers at fucking 8.
Don't forget, we can't forget about Dak. Dak's numbers look stupid. And Dak's a winner.
They do. Actually, if we just no chips, he has to be into the argument probably higher. Because his numbers are crazy.
Yeah, his numbers are stupid too. So it's like, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of factors when you go into 10.
There is a lot of factors.
But you could go you could throw Josh in there now just because of this season. Remember, if you go 3, go to the last 3 years.
Season, ready? 2018, 10-12. That's his rookie year. Yeah. He makes a jump in his sophomore year, 20-9, and then his motherfucking junior year, 37-10. So he almost threw for 40 touchdowns. That's beast mode.
True. So he's up and coming. Not yet. Remember, we're using the 3-year criteria.
My man is brutal.
You got to
call him. I'm gonna call my friend Josh Allen and tell him, say, Josh, I'm loving the streets for you, Daddy. Okay,
he's on his way.
Do you believe? Like, what are you gonna do? You got to see a whole nother year of phenomenalness for you to even. I know phenomenalness is not a word, but another year of him performing at this level,
the high level,
to put him in.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because remember, you're gonna have some guys leaving. You have Drew's leaving.
Lamar can't even be counted either because Lamar is being granted 2 years too. So these are two-year players.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
You know,
so
I'm trying to think. Go down the list. You can't even think.
It'd have to be Breeze, Ben Roethlisberger, and you'd have to switch. It'd have to be Breeze.
Because remember, Drew Brees is out after this year, so that's one guy.
Phillip Rivers, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, and Ben Roethlisberger are probably those guys that are kind of
because you got him leaving too. You know, then you could throw Baker Mayfield in there.
I know. I was thinking about that, but Baker qualifies under what we said about the 3-year window.
This is his 4th year, isn't it? That's his 3rd year.
They were in the same draft. Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield.
So he set the record for passing touchdowns off his rookie year,
which is crazy.
You know, you got that. And last year,
I like him. I think he
this year's another. It's tough because you want. Or the criteria is right. My mind is when everything isn't going well, can you win the game?
Agreed. Yes, I still don't think Baker Mayfield's there yet.
He's not. Right. Even Lamar's not there.
I think Josh Allen is though. I don't think Lamar is though.
Even Lamar, I don't even know if Josh Allen is there either.
The only thing about Lamar is that Lamar could outrun the whole fucking team.
Correct. He's dynamic and flashy and shit looks awesome. But you don't know. Right. We don't know.
So then basically 6 has to be Breeze.
Yeah.
When the game falls apart,
he can win.
He
can win you the game.
And he's put like household name, not household names on the map. Because Michael Thomas, if he was on another team, he probably wouldn't. I'm not saying he wouldn't be as good, but now he's famous because he gets thrown passes by Drew Brees.
Because you got to look at everybody. Everybody else are bum, not like bum quality. So you got. It's nobody because you could put Dak is probably like 9 or 10. Like Dak is in the top 10. So then, then after that is you can't really Jared Goff. No,
bro, they got so lucky last week.
You know, you got Derek Carr. I think if Derek Carr goes to a better system, he would do better. Like if I'm the Broncos,
watch with your eyeballs.
If I'm
you would trade for him?
If I'm the Broncos, I would trade for Derek Carr.
Okay. So what do you think? It's just a scheming situation in Oakland? Yeah. Okay.
Plus, you don't have a coach who believes in you.
That's true too.
He don't fuck with Derek Carr.
No, I know. Nobody fucks with Derek Carr. That's why I'm saying, like, you really believe? I mean, I've always liked Derek Carr. I just think that when you were just saying it as a qualifier, when the game falls apart, he falls apart too.
No, for sure. That's why he's in the top 15. Like,
okay, yeah, right.
He's not going to get into the top 10 or the top 5. But what I'm saying is,
if he gets moved,
he gets moved. And then we can't forget about Kyler Murray. You know, that's another guy who's a top 10
but I
guy.
think Kyler's emerging.
No,
Kyler's emerging.
But like for him to do this is his second year. So for him to do what he's doing, you know,
he's cooking like a motherfucker.
Another guy,
he's probably a better thrower than Lamar.
Another guy who has Aaron Rodgers' talent is Matthew Stafford, but he doesn't win. Right. You know, he's stuck in Detroit. And then
hold on, we'd have to rewind that. Then that means that Matthew Stafford would make the top 10
for sure. He'll probably be 10. 9 or 10, just based on numbers.
Homeboy just throws 30 touchdowns every season, no matter what, no matter who. And he's a gutsy player. He stays in the moment. He doesn't fall apart. Homeboy's there all day.
Exactly.
So that's the back 9.
For sure.
In not any particular order. Breeze, Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Matthew Stafford.
You could put Lamar or Josh Allen,
Lamar still,
or Dak.
And Dak.
You know, those are the guys you have. So it's a bright future for the.
The good news is that we know for sure Patrick, Rodgers, Russell.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Those are the top 3.
Russell too.
Yep.
Because he's more with us, right?
Yep. And they just fired his OC, so they're gonna get a new OC in Seattle.
Right. I know.
So.
Real quick before we bounce out, 2 questions. First question: did you really think Brian Schottenheimer was that effective? It doesn't matter that he got fired, bro.
I think they were trying to displace blame off
so
Pete Carroll. So somebody had to be. Somebody had to be
walk the plank.
Correct.
Off with his head.
Because like you had Russell cooking at the beginning of the year, and then everything went to shit in the middle of the year. Then the defense became.
I think they should have fired the defensive coordinator, if anything, because that's the one who seemed to fuck up the most. Because the offense was cooking.
But now then the second half of the season, the defense was cooking. So like.
Got you. Okay, so they figured out something.
Somebody had to go.
Got you.
And I think he was just a sacrificial lamb.
Next question. Better situation for Deshaun Watson, because we didn't even talk about it too, but he wants out of tennis. He wants out of Houston. New York, and not you motherfuckers. Jets or Pats? I know he's talking about one of the Jets, but I was throwing out.
He wants to go to the report is Miami.
Why?
They're ready to win right now.
I know, but they just drafted a quarterback.
You get rid of him and you put Deshaun.
Yo, if they do that shit, they're gangsters, motherfucker.
NFL, yes, I would have done it already.
Really?
NFL's win now time.
No, I got you. I'm with it, and you got to win with the quarterback.
Yep.
So you're not impressed with homeboy then, the lefty?
Well, he's a rookie. I'm not gonna diss this. He's incomplete on the on the critical on the.
And you keep Tua?
No.
Or you have to trade Tua too?
Of course.
Okay, so you're saying we and we're Miami and we move forward. You're all in on Deshaun. There's nobody on the bench making him nervous.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna take a spot if he's a top 10 talent anyway. You're not worried about nobody else. You're not worried about a Nick Foles situation. You're not worried about Fitzpatrick's situation. You know, like you're not gonna pull him out the game. You're not gonna bench him in the third quarter. Like Watson's your guy and he's your franchise quarterback. But that's what I would do if I was him. I'm out there, or I'll be like, yo, I'm out to the Colts. That's another.
Right. I think that makes the most sense, but they would never pull that trigger because they would be the laughing stock.
Well, who?
All right. How about one more dude only because if they start getting beat, if he goes to within the division, and then, the Colts start spanking.
But listen, he has a no trade clause, so he gets to pick where he goes.
Filthy. I love who. You know, so crazy. He just got paid.
Yep.
Why would Houston do that?
Well, the issue was that they didn't.
He's going to be on the fucking hook for that money.
It's only a $21 million cap hit next year, which is nothing.
Okay,
that's nothing. But they fucked up because like they hired a new GM. They fired the coach.
He didn't like the GM, right? They didn't advise him.
They didn't advise him, which is okay. But now, like, if he's telling you he wants Eric Bieniemy, go get him fucking Eric Bieniemy.
Oh, why? First of all, I don't know why the Jets didn't even pull the trigger on this. Why is Bieniemy still unemployed? Like, why is Homeboy still taking interviewing for jobs?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's ridiculous.
I don't get it.
It's ridiculous. He should have been hired. Number one, head coach right out the gate, no questions asked. I get him in the building. I say, buddy, what is it that I need you to do so that you move your family right now? I don't even need you to leave.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know why the Chargers didn't get him.
I don't know why any team hasn't signed this guy.
Because look what he's done with a young QB and Patrick Mahomes. Now you got a young QB with Justin Herbert.
You can be everywhere. You could argue that Denver's a great place. You could argue that LA is a good place. You could argue that New York's a good place. Like there's tons of places.
For him, his two pieces should have been, his two destinations should have been the Chargers and the Texans. If I'm him,
yes,
because you have two quarterbacks. The cornerstone, you need a quarterback, and you have two of them. You have Justin Herbert and you have Deshaun Watson, and you already dealt with a young Patrick Mahomes. So you already know the growing pains when you get there with Justin Herbert are going to be. And you can explain to him, Patty Mahomes had an issue with this defense because he saw it this way. With Deshaun, he's already more developed. So you be like, hey,
less. You're probably developing the other players, the wide receivers, the tight ends, the running back. You don't got to worry about so much.
Exactly. Worry about the defense more than the offense.
That's crazy. By the way, you know, to be the sneaky good play if he doesn't get a job, I hire him in Seattle, or I hire him wherever there's an offensive coordinator opening. You gotta
I would go and pay him more, like close to head.
Yes, like what you said before. You play your OC and your D coordinators big money so you could keep them. You know what I mean? So you don't lose them, because the Chiefs arguably have 3 head coaches, because Spagnuolo ain't no bum either. Nope. Homeboys won 3 fucking chips as a DC. Like you gotta show.
Breaking news right now: Jags hire Urban Meyer.
Nice. Thank God that
it's official.
We're with him. Okay. At least we get that out. One more before we get into the picks for the weekend. J.J. Watt wants out of Texas. The best place for him. New England?
Everybody's going for New England for you?
Well, the Patriots for me. If I'm the Patriots, I'm shopping. I'm like, bro, they're not going to hit in the draft. They're not.
Yeah.
So let's start hiring agents.
Bill Belichick has been a proponent of never like moving off players before they bust.
You're right. He might think JJ's
Watt is already done. Not done in the sense he could probably he'll help.
Sure, his best years are behind him.
Oh, sorry. Just backtrack real quick. Talk about Watson. You know where you could go to? San Francisco.
Facts. By the way, he could write his own ticket right now.
Yep.
Because he could go to a lot of spots. But SF would be amazing.
Yep.
Because they quietly have a lot of really good players on offense. A lot.
All right. Now going back to JJ Watt. He would probably have to go to a team that the defense is stacked. If I'm him, you really want a funny thing? You know where I would go if I'm him?
Steelers.
I'm going to Steelers with his brother.
Thank you. Yes. And there's 2 of them. The fullback is there and the brother's there.
Yep. So you got all 3 of them.
Sign them all. Fuck it. And you probably get JJ on a discount.
For sure. Hey, you want to play with your brother?
Yeah. And then you could play him third down specialist.
Exactly.
That way we can fucking make you
second and long. All
that shit. All you gotta do is run and kill the quarterback.
That's it.
I don't need you to cover. I don't need you to run after the running back. You are specifically in passing downs.
And then we're talking about, or I've seen people saying, do the package deal with
Watson. I know with who? To who?
No, you trade Deshaun and TJ Watt.
Yeah.
I mean JJ Watt together to the Dolphins. And you give them another first round pick, and they get Tua and they get a first round pick.
That's what Miami's sending over, let's say, to Texas.
Correct. Because this year, this draft, Texans don't have a first round pick. It goes.
Right, I know they fucked that up too.
It goes to Miami.
Right.
And that's a top 5 pick. So now you can go get the Deontay Smith kid. Right. If I'm not mistaken, he's going to the. Is he eligible? Is he going to the draft?
I'm not sure, but everybody was talking like this guy's gonna be the next thing since sliced bread. So I'm like, all right, I didn't even watch that.
You can go get him another wide receiver, or you could go get him you could even trade out of that pick. If you trade for Deshaun Watson, right? You trade out of that 3rd pick, get more picks, and shore up the offensive line.
Why don't teams do that more? You think? Why are we not fucking trading back? Like
more because
I know
most
that we're trying to win with the quarterback, but it's like, Papa, we got like 22 other or 21 other positions here. We might need somebody else.
the issue
We
is that
might.
most teams who have good quarterbacks aren't in the top 5 or top 10.
I get that, but if you're in the top 3 or 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually those players don't hit. If you're not one, you might as well trade out. Might as well trade out because at 1 you get to pick anybody you want, basically.
Mm-hmm.
At 3, 4, 5, I mean, you're getting lucky at that point. Why not trade back? Get 2 2s and a 3, or switch positions and maybe get the 32nd first pick and then get something on the back end on the second. I just don't know why people don't use the draft picks. They'll trade a player for a draft pick, but they won't trade draft picks for draft picks. Doesn't make any
It
sense.
all depends on what like if the Jets
They should totally trade back. They should totally trade.
So if I'm the Jets, right, you keep Sam Darnold, you hire Eric Bieniemy,
I love that. See, I like when you talk like that.
then,
Talk to me dirty.
and then you trade out of the top two pick, and you get two twos, 4 threes, like something
Something good.
something along those lines. You get somebody's won this year too, but you trade further back in the draft. So let's say the Colts need it because the Colts are gonna. Well, if the Colts move to the second spot and they draft Justin Fields, Phillip Rivers looks like he's not coming back.
No.
You get a young QB. Your defense is still solid. You could move up in the draft. They just lost their tackle. Oh, their guard Costanzo retires. The Colts guard offensive lineman retired this year, so that could be a spot. Who knows? Who knows what they do?
All right. Well, that's at least that's a lot of good stuff for us to look at. That's why I love the NFL because it seems like there's always so much movement in the offseason, right? Like you see guys and they end up in so many different places. That to me is like the fun part of the NFL is the offseason because you get to like guess and see who's gonna go where and what's gonna happen. Yeah, and then it gets happen, and then you get to really see it in real life, which I think is awesome. But that's gonna conclude the quarterback segment. Let's make sure that everybody that's still with us listens. So we got Patrick at 1, Russell at 2, Rogers at 3, Brady at 4, and who was 5?
Deshaun.
Thank you. All right, so.